Hey everybody, Mrs. Wood here, bringing you your next installment of First Chapter Friday. Of course, this is another Mark Twain nominee. I think this is our fifth one of the year. This is a mystery book, so if any of you like solving problems, solving a crime, this one's for you. This week's book is called Coop Knows the Scoop by Taryn Saunders. And the first chapter is a little short, so I'm going to read you the back and then make sure to read you the first chapter as well. But here we go. The whole town is talking, and it's up to Coop to find the truth. Windy Bottoms, Georgia, is usually a peaceful place. Coop helps his mom at her cafe and bookstore, hangs out with his grandpa, and bikes around with his friends, Justice and Liberty. The town is full of all kinds of interesting people, and no one has ever caused a big problem. Until now. When the link to a cold case mystery is discovered beneath the playground, everyone is eager to solve it. But somehow, Coop's grandpa is taking all the blame. It seems like there are a lot of secrets buried in their small town after all. Will Coop and his friends get to the bottom of the mystery and clear Gramps' name before it's too late? Let's start to find out with Chapter 1 of Coop Knows the Scoop. Here we go. When the Windy Bottom Town Council voted to tear down the old playground and build a new one, no one ever imagined what lay buried beneath the rusted slide. The morning the human bones turned up and the news started flying around town, I was up to my ball cap in dirty coffee cups. My best friend Justice burst through the screen back door of a latte books. He slipped through, spilled water on the floor, and slid to a stop, clutching the counter. Dang it, Coop, you beat us here again. I set a wet mug on the drying rack. Figured if we finished our chores early, we could check out the grave. I'm dying to see this skeleton. Whole town's talking about it. Justice puffed out a breath of air. Heard the police are even over there now. Strangers think Justice and me are twins because we're both cursed with messy red hair and a truckload of freckles, not to mention we're both 13. But his real twin sister's name is Liberty, even though she looks nothing like him, being a blonde and, well, a girl. Liberty sauntered in, joining Justice and me in the kitchen. She slouched against the counter and tossed her baseball from hand to hand. Baseball was to Liberty like oxygen was to the rest of us. That dumb old skeleton is all people have on their brains this morning, she said. You're just mad the police won't let you on the baseball field, Justice responded. Liberty spit into the trash can. She was a Southern belle, minus the bell part. She also ran faster and slugged harder than anyone else in Windy Bottom. It's probably just some soldier left over from the Civil War. Justice tied on an apron, grabbed a tub filled with dirty dishes. Nuh-uh, Dad said there wasn't hardly any war fought in this part of Georgia. Liberty rolled her eyes. That doesn't mean there was nothing. Maybe he crawled home to die. Come on, Lib, I said, tossing her an apron. We all got kitchen duty, not just Justice and me. I've never seen a skeleton before, Justice said. The one hanging in Mr. Group's class doesn't count. Don't count. Doesn't count, Liberty corrected him. Ignoring his glare, she stood straight and shoved her baseball into her apron pocket. And it's too late. No one can get within 100 feet of that playground, she frowned, or the baseball fields. The police already cordoned off the whole area. Justice sighed. Does cordoned start with a K or a C? C, Liberty and I answered together. Justice muttered and reached for his now dog-eared pocket dictionary. Liberty threw out vocabulary the same way she threw a fastball, smooth and unstoppable. 3 years ago, Justice started carrying a dictionary in his back pocket after an unfortunate misunderstanding of the word rendezvous, which left him locked in the women's bathroom of the Piggly Wiggly for 2 hours. I thought Justice was destined to spend his life one step behind in every conversation on account of him having to look upward so often, but Gramps said Justice may as well pass us all with his vocabulary one day. According to Gramps, life is a journey, and what we are now is not necessarily what we will be. Justice sighed. Well, at least we could see what the police are doing. Take some pictures maybe. Mama poked her head through the kitchen door and smiled at the twins. Oh, hi, Justice. Hi, Liberty. Do y'all mind watching the counter for a while? The coffee delivery came in along with a bunch of book orders. Your folks and I need to run an inventory. A couple years ago, Liberty and Justice's folks, Mr. and Mrs. Gordon, owned the used bookstore next door. They must have tired out their imaginations, giving their kids creative names because their store had just been called Used Books. But then that all changed. The inside wall between Mama's coffee shop and their bookstore had been demolished, and a Latte Books, Windy Bottom's first and only bookstore cafe with new books, not just used ones, was where Lib, Justice, and I spent our summers. Us kids got stuck washing dishes, shelving books, or, whatever else needed doing. Justice rubbed the back of his neck. Actually, ma'am, we were just about to go to the... I kicked him. Mama raised her eyebrows and stepped inside, letting the swinging door flop back and forth behind her. Cooper Goodman, she poked me with her clipboard. You are up to something. And if you think that something happens to revolve around that skeleton at the playground, then you've got another thing coming. The store is brimming over with people, and I need your help. Where was Gramps when I needed him? He would have let us go. In fact, I reckon he would have given us a ride to the playground. He might be a stickler for the rules, but he had his mischievous side too. The bell dinged at the coffee counter. Mama glanced out the small rectangular window that was set in the kitchen door. It's Meriwether and Ruth. Checking the time on her watch, she sighed. I have to go. She turned to leave, but stopped and nodded at the two sisters standing at the counter. Don't forget, you'll need to bring them their order. Lord knows we don't want them trying to carry their coffee again, not after yesterday's fiasco. Yes, ma'am. Gramps will be in later on to help, but right now, sugar, I need you not distracted by talk of a skeleton. She patted my cheek. Ma, I whispered. Sugar's a wimpy name, and I told her 1,000,000 times. Lib snorted. Mama smiled. I'm sorry, Coop. Mama put her hand on her hip and shook her finger. Stay here. The police don't need anyone underfoot. My shoulders shrugged. I promise. But does he really mean that? You have to find out when you read chapter 2, because Coop does find out the scoop, and you're going to need to read the rest of it to find out. So come on down and check it out. I hope you are enjoying some of the other Mark Twain nominees. Remember that if you finish one, in order for it to count, you need to take a quiz on it. Your teachers should have access to those. Remember, you can come down and check this one out, but you guys also should have a copy of each of these in your classroom library already. And if you have any other questions or concerns about them, feel free to come down and ask Mr. Bruns or Miss Billy, or otherwise, I will be back in a few short weeks, and I can't wait to hear all about all the ones you've read. Okay, I hope you all are having a great time in school and a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.